Yes, that is 100% accurate. I'm very behind today, and so I'm going to answer questions while I work. I'm collecting some fresh beetles. I've already collected from half the trays today to get orders out, and so those are packed and shipped and gone. And now I'm doing the rest. So to your comment here, you are 100% accurate. If you are not allergic to mealworm frass now, but you expose yourself to it, it's just like anything else. With enough frequency, dosage, and time, or recurrence, you can develop an allergy. One of the things I often tell folks to do is to go check out a group on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, it's called Mealworm Farming Co-op. And what you'll see in there, if you've been in there for a while like I have, I'm an admin in there, have been for many years, with two other extremely nice gentlemen. What you'll find is that people will join, or folks who have been in there for a while and are raising their own. You'll see a very standard post that says something along the lines of, lately I've been working with my mealworms and all of a sudden I'll just have a bunch of sneezing fits or coughing fits, or I'm getting hives. And that is 100% because mealworm frass is an allergen. And so anytime I'm in here working on them, just like now, I have a full face respirator on. And what that does is it protects my eyes and my lungs. Because you may not have an allergy to it now. I had allergy-induced asthma prior to ever working with mealworms. And so my first contact with mealworms and actually working with them led to an asthma trigger. And so I knew right away that it had impacted me. And so I've been wearing a mask since I've been starting this, except for that first time. But I want you to think of it like a paint booth. So if you go outside every spring and you spray paint your furniture or your garden gnome or whatever it is, you give it a fresh coat of paint for the year. If that's the only thing you spray paint during the year, you're going to stand away from it. You're going to spray it away from yourself. You're going to make sure the wind's blowing it away from you. You're going to hold your breath. But you're not going to deck yourself out in a full get-up with a hazmat suit, basically, just to do that one thing, right? I don't. And even though you're going to hold your breath, invariably you'll smell spray paint, right? Everybody would agree that it's not a good idea to breathe that stuff in. It happens every once in a while when you're spraying stuff like that in the spring, in this example. But if your job, if your passion, if your goal every day was to get into a paint booth and paint cars beautiful colors, what does that person do? They put on a respirator, they put on gear, they put on gloves. They protect themselves so that they can continue doing what it is they need to do. And mealworm farming is very similar. You can get away with it for a while. I know people that will argue with me about how they don't cause allergies, they don't trigger allergies, you're not going to get them over time. Okay. Talk to me in a few years. If you're still raising mealworms, and not using a mask and other forms of protection, and you don't have an allergy, I'll consider you very lucky, but I still think it's just a matter of time. Some folks develop them pretty quickly, some folks it takes a while, but it will happen. And this is not a scare tactic. This isn't me like trying to be Big Mealworm here and tell you all these scary things. You will see in many of my videos that I talk openly about the mask that I use. It's a 3M version 6000. I wear a large. You can see the filters that I use. I've used two different kind of filters. These are P100 filters. These are a little smaller. You can smell a little bit more of the vapor in the air. So like I can smell the beetles when there's potentially too much die-off. But I am not impacted by the frass when I wear these, or the purple, or sorry, the pink filters that I have. And so it is 100% a true thing. You can also have skin issues. I will break out, I don't know if you can see it or not here, but I had some hives. These are where some mealworms bit me, different video. But you can have hives or develop hives, itchy, scratchy skin, things like that. And so it is a legitimate thing. I highly advise that if you're going to do this for any length of time, you need to protect yourself, have dust collection in place, and make sure that you're not exhausting your air into anywhere where you're going to impact other humans. If you have any questions about any of that, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an entomologist. I don't know what within frass triggers it. Another allergen impact is if you are allergic to shellfish, you are very likely allergic to mealworms. And so somebody out there smarter than me can probably tell us why. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an entomologist. I'm just a guy who raises bugs and shares my experience with you. So if you're going to embark on this journey, please be careful and wear a mask.